Green Cheek Conure cage tour. Now I'm actually really excited about this because I can show off the perches that I just cleaned, which I probably won't do again for a while because I don't want to. So this is the perfect time to do a cage tour, so really appreciate how clean the perches are. I will say, fun fact about these little Green Cheek Conures is that they're one of the cleanest birds you can get. Like, they clean their own cage because they flap their wings and all the debris and feathers, you know, fly outside of the cage and go everywhere else. They love to keep a nice clean cage. So like, I just vacuumed and the floor is covered in crumbs and feathers and shavings of treats, of toys. So if you want a clean cage, get yourself a conure. If you want a clean house, then don't get a bird. To the cage. Now for the most interesting part of the cage is the storage underneath. I know that that sounds like a joke, but I love storage. So, here we go, cage under the cage. This is our little carrier. I love this carrier. It's got tiny toys, it's got newspaper, it's got a perch that's, it's like files nails, but the top is smooth, it's so good, bowl, whatever. Then we have our quick cleaner. So this is just vinegar and water. I think it's like 1 part vinegar, 4 parts water. And so if she gets like a spot, it's clean right now, but if she gets a spot on her cage, then I can just spritz, wipe that down real fast. It's fantastic. Healthy seed mix. I mean, not really healthy, but 4 seeds, a healthy seed mix. Bird Tricks pellets, millet, walnuts, and sunflower seeds, which took me a while to figure out that she loves, and now I have them on supply. You want a walnut? Prove to everybody that you love them? Yeah, the little baby bird. And then we got our chop and our spray bottle so that I'm ready to bath train her whenever she shows like she might want to bathe. It's all right there. Okay, now onto the part that most people probably care about is the actual cage itself. So non-negotiable when you're getting a bird cage, there has to be a slide out tray, right? Do they even make them without? Get yourself a slide out tray, treat yourself. Come here. You want to come? So get one of those. Use a grate, especially if you have newspaper, so that they can't tear it up and get the dyes in their mouth or any of their droppings or anything gross. So get yourself a tray. You can see that this is from Exotic Nutrition. I'm not going to say exactly which cage it is, because even though I would recommend it, I've only had it for like 3 weeks, so it's powder coated, it should be good, but maybe in another week it'll start to show signs of rust or something, and I don't want to have recommended it until like at least a year has gone by. You know what I mean? So don't ask. But we have bottom perch here. This is from PetSmart, and this one is from PetSmart. This one files down the nails. It's in a corner where she goes the least, but she'll stand on it just to drink water, but she never just hangs out on it, so it won't irritate the bottoms of her poor little toes. Poor little baby. You're being such a baby. Why are you such a baby? Does she not look hungry to you guys? You want a pellet? Because you're being so good? See, storage underneath. Get that away from me. Okay. So the reason that there's no perches over here is because I want her to be able to fly. So right now she just flew a lot because she was just flying around the house and she's clipped, so that takes a lot more effort. Ah! Poor baby. Is that this allows her to fly from this corner all the way up here. And the reason there's no bar going the length of the cage so that she can just walk from food bowl to food bowl is because she's able to fly the length of the cage. And I really want to work up her muscles. Obviously she can just climb if she doesn't feel like flying, but I definitely recommend when you're setting up your Green Cheek Conure cage, give them room to fly. It's a game changer. So now there's the 2 dowel rods. She does sleep on this one. And before you guys go, oh, dowel rods, you can't be using those. They're bad for birds' feet. They are bad for birds' feet if they're the only perch that they sit on. But because she has such a variety of perches, it's really not a problem for her to sleep on something that's uniform. And then this one, she mostly uses as like a launching. She doesn't really just hang out on it. So I'm totally comfortable with there being 2 dowel rods for that reason. Then you've got the Bird Tricks perches. So this guy is huge. Where are you? Come here, little baby. You're being such a baby. You're being such a baby. Can you go on there, show how big it is? Come on. She's not going anywhere. But do you see how big it is compared to her? She can almost rest her feet on it because it's so thick that it's almost flat, which I love. And then she has one that's actually her size over here. So these are both the Bird Tricks perches you can get on their website, and I definitely recommend them. They're sandblasted, I think, so they have a really good grip. She's never slipped on one when she landed on them. They're so awesome, and I'm glad I got both the medium and the small. Now, you're probably noticing the cuddle bone. She has never touched that, but when I bought her, they were like, she needs a cuddle bone. She needs it. It'll be great. She has not touched it, and the vet says she's fine. So get a cuddle bone if you feel like it. Ask your vet. Ask your vet. Now, okay, you don't have to hang out. So, finally we'll do the toys because it's a pretty important part, especially for a green cheek conure enclosure. Toys, it's at least the funnest part, right? So I really only use all natural toys, so I can, it's hard to come by, so really, is all my stuff just Bird Tricks and PetSmart? Yes. So anyway, we've got this thing on the inside of this cage. It's all soft wood, preening toy, and this weird woven material she loves. Then we've got the party perch. She just loves ripping that out so much. She's like, no, don't put me down. I won't put you down. Then that's her favorite toy. She sleeps by it. She doesn't rub against it or anything hormonal, but I am keeping an eye on it because if your bird is ever sleeping with a toy, you just never know what it might turn into. The baby bow, the octopus things in the mahogany sandwich, and the most beautiful toy in the existence of every toy ever made, whatever it's called. And then this thing actually belonged to my Senegal parrot for like a year, and she never could get through it. So now it belongs to this one to finish the job. And that's all. And if that doesn't seem like a lot of toys, it really is. Like, she goes from toy to toy to toy playing, and we swap them out every week so that she doesn't get bored, because it does take her a while to destroy them. So, yes. Okay, Twig, I have to show them the doors and then we'll be done. You need to get off. Good job, girl. So on either side, we have these that open and let me just take the food bowl in and out. It's so nice. So you can see the powdered pellets, and it's the same thing on the water side. And of course, stainless steel bowls are a must. One last thing I want to point out is that whenever I use toys, where's a good example? I use these quick links rather than the pear clips. Pear clips are really thin and they can easily, no, we're not doing the foot thing. Pear clips are really thin and they can like lodge in the bird's beak and it can be dangerous. So you want to make sure that you're using quick links rather than pear clips whenever possible. Yes, I know. And you can probably see, even on video, you can see some of the debris that's left over from this one. But yes. So yeah, that's the cage. We definitely are loving it so far. I wouldn't go any smaller. It's 3 feet tall, 32 across, and 2 feet deep. And I think it's 63 off the ground if you count the stand. 63 inches, I mean. So I wouldn't go any smaller for her because she uses every inch of this cage. She's constantly running and climbing and diving and flying all over the place. So in the next, I don't know, if I ever get another bird, which I probably won't, but if I ever do, I'm gonna get them a bigger cage because I kind of thought, you know, she's so little, and the Senegal parrot that I have, she doesn't really move at all. She just sort of sits there all day. But I was like, you know, you still got to get a big cage, and no, I wish I would have sprung for a bigger one, but I can save up for that in the meantime. I can't just drop coin. But yeah, the bigger the cage, the better, especially for a bird that's this active. Oh, and you're probably wondering, baby, come on. I'm standing up. You can, okay. You're probably thinking to yourself, what is that on the top of the cage? So I come home from work, right? And this thing was in the cage, hanging, so funny, hanging from this dowel rod. And I was like, you gave my bird a nest? Like, are you trying to make it hormonal? And I'll admit, it was really cute, so we left it in there for a day, but we ended up taking it out because I don't want to deal with hormones like that. So I really want her to be on my hand. It's okay. We'll just make it uncomfortable so she may climb up, may not. Twig! Twig! Okay, hold on. There we go. That's better. So yes, all in all, this is the cage. I love it. It's got wheels so it rolls around. That's invaluable too because we're constantly moving her like into the sun, into the shade, over to the TV, away from the TV, all over the place. And I wouldn't be able to get by without wheels. So you may notice there's not any rope toys, there's not any snuggle huts, there's not any like loose metals or anything like that. Try to keep your bird's cage as all natural as you can, because that's what's going to be best for them. Try to mimic nature in a way that's still safe.